Hippie hey, it's a brand new day. Sharp, my homies. In this lesson we will explore the characteristics of vertebrate animals. Watch these videos about other groups of living organisms. You know that there are two main animal groups, the invertebrates and the vertebrates. In this lesson we will study the vertebrate animals. You need to know that there are other classes of vertebrate animals that we will not study. In this grade, we will study the vertebrates with which you are most familiar. These groups are class Osteichthyes, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, and class Mammalia. You remember that vertebrate animals can be ectothermic or endothermic. Ectothermic or cold-blooded animals cannot control their body temperatures. The fish, amphibians and reptiles are ectothermic. Endothermic or warm-blooded animals can control their body temperatures. The birds and mammals are endothermic. The Vertebrata animals belong to a larger group called Phylum Chordata. There are other animals that belong to Phylum Chordata that are not vertebrates because they do not have backbones. What are the characteristics of vertebrate animals? All vertebrate animals have backbones. Vertebrates also have endoskeletons that are made of cartilage or bone. The backbone surrounds and protects the spinal cord. The spinal cord is a mass of millions of nerves that connect the animal's brain to the rest of the animal's body. If the spinal cord is damaged, the animal can become paralyzed and unable to move. So, the backbone performs a very important function as it protects the spinal cord. These pictures show the endoskeletons of different vertebrate animals. Can you name the animal to which these endoskeletons belong? The members of class Osteichthyes are all fish that have bony skeletons. They may be referred to as the bony fish. Check out these examples of class Osteichthyes fish. The goldfish is a good example of class Osteichthyes. These animals live in an aquatic or water habitat. They are herbivores. They have moist, overlapping scales covering their bodies. They move through water by swimming with fins. Each of the fins have a different function to steer, balance and move the fish. Goldfish, like all fish, use gills to breathe. Goldfish undergo oviparous reproduction because they lay eggs in the water. See how the female goldfish releases the eggs into the water in this video clip. The female may produce up to 1,000 eggs at one time. The eggs do not have a shell because they are laid in water. The male pours the sperm cells over the egg cells in the water. This means that the fertilization is external because it happens outside the female's body. The fertilized eggs are incubated by the heat of the sun. The parents seldom take care of the young. Therefore, parental care is unlikely to occur. Look at the simple classification of the goldfish. Study the external structure of the goldfish. Class Amphibia, or the amphibians, include the frogs, toads, salamanders and newts. The common river frog is a good example of a South African amphibian animal. These animals live in water and on land at different stages of their life cycles. The frog has a body covering of moist skin. The skin is camouflaged to protect the frog from predators. The adult frog is a carnivore that eats insects and other small animals. The adult frog breathes with two lungs, the membrane under its tongue and through its moist skin. Adult frogs have small front legs and strong back legs. The strong back legs help the frog to swim in water and to jump on land. The male and female frogs act out a mating ritual. The female frog lays approximately 3,000 eggs in the water. The eggs are surrounded with a jelly to hold them together. The male pours the sperm over the unfertilized eggs in the water. The fertilized eggs are incubated by the heat of the sun. A tadpole hatches from each fertilized egg. After a year, the tadpole develops into an adult frog. Frogs seldom take care of their young. The frog is easy to classify. Here is a diagram of the external structure of a frog. Reptiles are also cold-blooded animals. There are four groups of reptiles: the lizards and snakes, crocodiles and alligators, tortoises and turtles, and the tuataras. We will use the rock lizard as an example of a reptile. Reptiles are land animals and most are able to live far from water. Their bodies are covered with dry scales. Lizards are carnivores that eat small animals like spiders and insects. They have two pairs of legs for walking. Lizards can cling to rocks because they have claws and pads on their feet. Since they are land animals, the lizards have two lungs for respiration. Since they are land animals, fertilization is internal and the male lizard places the sperm into the female. The parents will dig a hole in the sand and may guard the eggs. The eggs have a soft shell to prevent dehydration. Take a gander at the simple classification of the lizard, and the external structure of the lizard. The birds belong to class Aves. Birds are warm-blooded animals. Look at these examples of birds. The pigeon is a useful example of the Aves. Pigeons are land animals. The bird body is covered with skin, feathers and scales. In the wild, pigeons are plant eaters. Birds have legs and wings as organs of locomotion. Birds breathe using lungs like other land animals. Pigeons do a mating ritual before mating. Internal fertilization takes place. The fertilized eggs are laid outside the mother's body. The eggs are incubated by the heat of the parents' bodies. The eggs have a hard shell for protection and to prevent dehydration. The parent pigeons often build a nest, protect and feed the young. Check out this simple classification of the pigeon. See if you can name the parts of the pigeon shown in the diagram. The most advanced group of vertebrate animals is the mammals. Mammals are endothermic animals. Name these members of class Mammalia. A common example of mammals is the house mouse. The mouse is a terrestrial animal. In the wild, mice are omnivores. They eat fruits, roots and small insects. Skin and hair cover the mouse's body. Mice can move using legs that have claws and pads to cling to surfaces. They breathe using lungs that is supported by a muscle called the diaphragm. The diaphragm helps the lungs to inhale and exhale gases. Mouse reproduction involves internal fertilization. The young develop inside the mother's body and are connected to the mother throughout the gestation period. The babies are born alive. This is called ovoviviparous reproduction. The mother suckles the young with milk produced by the mammary glands. There is a lot of parental care because the parents will build a nest, feed, teach, and protect the young. Can you decide what the classification of the house mouse can be? Look at the external structure of the mouse in this diagram. Yo, that was a huge amount of information to understand. Here is a summary of the main points. Vertebrate animals belong to Phylum Chordata. Vertebrates have endoskeletons. Vertebrates have backbones that surround the spinal cord. Bony fish, amphibians and reptiles are ectothermic or cold-blooded. Birds and mammals are endothermic or warm-blooded. The vertebrate animals may be aquatic or terrestrial. Vertebrate animals have a variety of body coverings that help them to survive. Vertebrates may have herbivore, carnivore or omnivore feeding habits. Vertebrate animals may use fins, legs or wings for locomotion. Vertebrate animals may use gills or lungs for respiration. Vertebrate animals may lay eggs or give live birth. Animals that lay eggs are said to be oviparous. Animals that give live birth are said to be ovoviviparous. Parental care in vertebrate animals will vary from one animal to another. Complete this activity. Draw this table. Write keywords to compare the different classes of vertebrata.